Welcome everyone who has joined us today on Zoom as well as on Facebook for the State of Black Children in Georgia webinar. I'm Dr. Bisa Lewis, President of Black Child Development Institute Atlanta affiliate, and we also have with us Ms. Cemeré James, who's Senior Vice President of Policy at the National Black Child Development Institute. So thank you guys for joining us today. So greetings to everyone who's joined us live on Facebook. We're so thankful that you took time out of your busy Monday to join us to learn about Black children, the state of Black children in Georgia, and what we're doing to support, and also how you can join us in our efforts. So thank you all for joining, and we look forward to engaging with you today. Our agenda today, NBCDI will share the actual State of the Black Child report card and the Georgia report to let you guys know how we scored on the different areas they were looking at. And once they share the overview of NBCDI, the publication, and the State of the Black Child Georgia, then we will discuss the different focus areas that we are engaging in here in Atlanta. And then after that, we'll show you guys how you can get involved in the work that we're doing for Black children and their families. So again, we have with us Ms. Cemeré James. She's Vice President of Policy for NBCDI, and we are excited that she was able to join us today. NBCDI is the national organization, and we are one of its affiliates, which Cemeré would tell you more about today in our webinar. So Cemeré, would you like to say good afternoon? Are you on mute, Cemeré? Oh, let's see if she's back in. Okay, yes, she came back in under another name. All right, Cemeré, we should be able to see you now. I know you came back in on your other device. So we want to welcome Cemeré James from our national. Hi, Cemeré.
Hi. Thank you so much, Bisa.
You're welcome. Sorry, I forgot to let you back in. I'm Bisa Batten Lewis, President of Black Child Development Institute, again, Atlanta affiliate. We have 6 focus areas, as you can see there on your screen. You'll hear more about those throughout the webinar today. And again, thank you for joining us. It's exciting work that we're doing, and we're happy that we can share with you today more information. So as you know, we recently lost a warrior, and we are so excited that we were able to engage him in our work, and he was happy to do so during his time that we had him here on Earth. So we want to take a moment of silence to just acknowledge Representative John Lewis and his family. Thank you all. So Representative John Lewis, I love this quote for him. He said from him, "There's no future out of reach for Black children. Across every corner of our great state, let us continue to work together to actualize the hopes and dreams of the next generation." And he actually wrote this in our Being Black is Not a Risk Factor Georgia publication, which actually NBCDI, our national office, publishes for a different state each year. And so in 2018, they published Being Black is Not a Risk Factor Georgia. And so what we love about this publication, guys, is it focuses on the positive data on Black children. So Cemeré and your team, thank you guys so much for this amazing publication. And we're so excited that Representative John Lewis was able to be involved. So thank you, sir. We know you're dancing in heaven, and we appreciate your work. So Cemeré, take it away.
And thank you so much, Bisa. I actually remember working with Congressman Lewis's staff on that excerpt that he gave for Being Black is Not a Risk Factor Georgia, and it was wonderful to work with him, and we thank him for really being a support and a champion of NBCDI's work.
Thank you. That was amazing. Yeah.
So for those of you joining the webinar who are not already familiar with NBCDI, as Bisa mentioned, this is our 50th year. Our mission is to improve and advance the quality of life for Black children and families through education and advocacy. We can advance to the next slide. Um, our affiliate network spans from coast to coast across the country. And today, of course, our focus is on Black Child Development Institute, Atlanta. Our focus areas, we focus on, in partnership with our national affiliate network, we deliver strengths-based, culturally relevant, evidence-based, and trauma-informed curricula programs that focus on health and wellness, family engagement, literacy. We support increased access to effective education by providing professional development scholarships to our early childhood educators. In the area of health and wellness, NBCDI has developed and implements 2 health and wellness programs, Good for Me and Grow Green, Get Fit. In our literacy area, we implement the Read to Succeed program. We can go ahead to the next slide. Today, we are focused on policy and advocacy. And in alignment, our policy and advocacy initiatives align with our action agenda. We challenge school systems to eliminate suspensions and expulsions in early childhood education. We'll talk much more about this as we're going through to the webinar today. We provide appropriate supports for teachers in responding to those children's needs. So we want to ensure that when there are disciplinary issues with a child, that we actually are engaging with educators to provide them with the supports that they need to support children so that we ultimately end the need for any suspensions and expulsions. We are challenging school districts to provide comprehensive aligned wraparound supports, ensuring that every child has what they need. We're challenging school districts to ensure that educators are prepared to meaningfully engage with parents. We know from research that we address suspensions and expulsions by having positive partnerships between parents and the teachers and educators. And then finally, within our community, we want to challenge people, we want to challenge our parents and caregivers to engage in brain development activities with their children, and challenging all adults in our communities to use their energy and talents to support our public education systems. Transitioning to the next slide, our action agenda, as I said, our policy initiatives align with our action agenda. And so starting with the State of the Black Child Report Card, we launched the State of the Black Child Report Cards in alignment with the Being Black is Not a Risk Factor reports. And so while we have our Being Black is Not a Risk Factor reports that has essays, data, research, we profile organizations that are positively supporting Black children. We also have the report cards, which are just a front and back, very quick and accessible tool used to identify the most significant issues in a particular state. And so we have Texas, Washington, Georgia, and Ohio, which we've already published. We're looking forward to publishing in more states. But the report cards, again, they're advocacy tools. They're designed to identify recommendations to address the ways that our systems are failing Black children. And so you've already heard Dr. Batten Lewis talk about the issue of the importance of being strengths-based and the importance for NBCDI and BCDI-Atlanta. We believe in taking a strengths-based approach. And so as you see the data points that we'll walk through today, you may be taken aback thinking, well, if you're strengths-based, why are we focusing on these data points that show where there are disparities between Black children and other children? The reason why we're doing that is because we have to show how our systems are failing Black children and families. These are not negative reflections on the strengths and the resilience of our children and families. Our children and families many times are succeeding in spite of the way that our systems are treating them, in spite of the institutional racism in many of our systems, our children and families are succeeding. We can advance to the next slide. So in the State of the Black Child Report Card, our first recommendation off the gate, we address the issue of suspensions and expulsions. Can advance to the next slide. So we proclaim that we need to end suspensions and expulsions, increase access to high quality early childhood education. We need more mental health supports for Black children. In this time of a global pandemic, that is more important than ever. We want to ensure teacher diversity and equip educators to partner with Black parents and caregivers. So our first recommendation, support positive discipline and end the practices of suspensions and expulsions. The next slide has our data point on that. Black children are 37% of our students in Georgia's public schools, but Black students are 3.6 times more likely to be suspended than white students. And this is really young children that we're talking about here. 3 and 4-year-olds is where these data points and these disparities start. So with very young children, we're teaching them and showing them that they're not welcome in education spaces but through these suspensions and expulsions. So what we'd like to see is we have gotten to the point in Georgia where for preschool up to 3rd grade, you cannot suspend a child for more than 5 days without wraparound supports. We want to move to no suspensions at all without wraparound supports. And then we actually want, without any disciplinary problem, we want teachers to be able to ask for those supports. We want teachers to be able to recommend and ask for the resources they need for students, not based on a behavioral issue, but to ensure every child's success. We want that available for all children. Our second recommendation, we want to increase access to high quality early childhood education. So on the next slide is our data point. Many of you have heard of food deserts, where there's a lack of nutritional foods, and we've seen the data map out where that lack of nutritional foods, those food deserts, lack of grocery stores are having negative health outcomes. Well, we actually, many in our field have mapped out childcare deserts, where there is a lack of affordable, high quality childcare and early care and education programs in many of our communities across the country. In Georgia specifically, 12% of Georgians live in zip codes that have limited access to high quality, affordable childcare services. This is an issue, it's more likely and at a higher level in our communities, and we want to make sure that we are sounding that alarm about the issue of childcare deserts, in addition to sounding the alarm about food deserts. Again, our young children, 0 to 5, they're in that critical stage of their development. They need high quality early care and education. Our families, as the economy in Georgia continues to reopen, we have to ensure that our parents have childcare to be able to go back to work. Next slide. We also are recommending that we have the social emotional support for social emotional development and mental health services for Black children and families. Georgia actually, in the past few years, has ranked last in the US when they're looking at the ratio of psychologists to students. 1 in about 6,000 students. So the ratio of 1 psychologist to about 6,000 students, where it's recommended that there's 1 for every 700 students. And even every 700 is just not a good estimate either. We want to ensure that actually every 1 in 200 students has access to a psychologist. And we say that because we want to ensure that in this time when children have their social emotional development may have gone in reverse as they've been isolated due to COVID-19. We talk a lot about what's happening to adults, but young children, especially those that are at the age where they don't understand this pandemic, they don't have the cognitive ability yet to fully understand this. This is going to take even more of a toll on them. They may not have the vocabulary, but they need more support than many of us do as adults. And we know that we all have felt the weight of the pandemic that's going on right now. We also want to ensure that the diversity of teachers reflects the diversity of students. We've talked about the importance of a positive relationship between children and the educator, between parents and caregivers and educators as well. A part of having those positive relationships is having people who understand a family culturally, and they have that cultural competence. And so the diversity among the workforce should mirror and really match the diversity of the students. And you can see here that in Georgia, but also at the national level, we have a lot of work to do, where we have 37% of the students are Black and only 26% of the teachers. 15% of our students are Black nationally, and only 7% of our teachers are Black at the national level. We have a lot of work to do to ensure that children can see a mirror of themselves as they matriculate throughout their education, that they can see a mirror of themselves, that they see educators that look like them in those positions of leadership and authority in their classrooms. Lastly, we want to ensure that we equip educators to partner meaningfully with Black parents and caregivers. This definitely echoes what's in our action agenda. And the data point that we point to is from UNCF, an organization, a longstanding organization that really takes a close look at how Black parents are treated. And in engaging and speaking with Black parents, they identified obstacles. Many Black parents felt like they're not welcome at their child's school, feeling like they don't have a right to ask questions. Well, this is exactly why Dr. Batten Lewis is bringing us together to have this conversation, because BCDI-Atlanta is ready to ensure that parents know their rights, so that if they don't feel welcome, they're going to make themselves feel welcome. And BCDI-Atlanta is ensuring that parents and caregivers in Atlanta are equipped to be strong leaders in their child's education, whether they feel welcome or not. I want to share now the alignment between this report card and our proclamation on ensuring that the stand that we're taking against suspensions and expulsions, and align that with NBCDI's national work very quickly before I turn it back over to BCDI-Atlanta, Dr. Batten Lewis. NBCDI's Delivering on the Promise campaign is our national campaign around addressing the issue of suspensions and expulsions. We love the alignment with the State of the Black Child report card for Georgia, that's the first recommendation in the report card as well. And our ultimate goal, again, where we want to go. So we know where we want to leave. We want to leave out suspensions and expulsions, but where we want to go is inclusive, culturally responsive early learning environments. Every child feels welcome, and every child feels like who they are is supported and embraced from day one as they're coming into a child care center. In order to do that, NBCDI has partnered with the Council on Black Health. This Delivering on the Promise is a longstanding initiative at NBCDI, but the partnership with the council is new. But we know that this work involves huge coalitions and many partnerships to move it forward across the country. And so NBCDI now serves as educational lead and co-lead of a special initiative for the council that is focused on addressing the issues of suspensions and expulsions. And the white paper that we've written on addressing the issue of suspensions and expulsions will support this initiative. And then even more exciting news, the council has chosen to first focus in Georgia and give our support behind the already wonderful work in progress that's already being made in Georgia. The Council on Black Health would like to get behind that work and support it, collaborating with educators, with families, with communities on this advocacy campaign. And then lastly, just wanted to, excited to share that this small roundtable within the council that's focused on suspensions and expulsions is being led by NBCDI, but also the NAACP, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, who's our co-chair, 100 Black Men, and Black Women's Health Imperative. And we're excited about that partnership. Thank you so much to BCDI-Atlanta for the opportunity to present alongside you today.
Great, great, great. Thank you so much, Cemeré, for joining us today. And we appreciate all the support that NBCDI provides for us. You help us to do the work that we try to do here, that we do all the time, every day in Georgia. So thank you for being such a great national office. So Cemeré already went over our 6 focus areas. So you see our platforms there, and I'll go over each one today, sharing with you what we're currently doing and also what we're looking to do. And for those of you all who are on, we always have people on who are trying to see how they can support our organization. So I'll share with you some funding opportunities as well. But our programs page is there. If you're on Facebook, Cicely Gay is on Facebook for us, and she is supporting us and making sure that these websites get put up there. Your questions are there as well. So we do have staff on Facebook. So make sure you guys check out the links and as well as in the chat so that you can go to these links. So on our programs page is where you can see each of our programs. So I'll start with policy. 2 main initiatives we have right now is we have the Get Out the Count, and we call our project Black Children Count. And so we also have Get Out the Vote, which is the common term that's used, common title, but When We All Vote is Michelle Obama's, First Lady Michelle Obama's initiative. So we also support that. So our goal is to make sure that we are helping Black families to understand the importance of the census in voting, helping them to complete their census questionnaire, the 2020 census questionnaire, and also to register to vote and actually go up to vote. So we want to turn those registrations into actual votes. So those are our 2 main goals right now. The November election is coming up, so we're working hard with schools to, primarily with child care centers is our goal, is to help their parents and their staff to learn about these initiatives. And you can go on our policy page, as you see there at the bottom of the slide, and you can see the resources. On each of our programs pages, we maintain a live list of resources. They're Google Docs. We're constantly adding to them so that you can see all the different resources that are available for those our different platforms. Black Children Count, we're so excited to have a website, blackchildren.org, and you can also go to our Facebook group and join our new Facebook group, because there is where we get to work with those around the state who want to work with us in ensuring Black children count. And we initially started Black Children Count to focus on census and voting, and now we looked at it and said, wow, Black children should count in everything. So we are weaving it throughout all of our 6 platforms, our focus areas. So the Black Children Count, our new Facebook group, that's where you'll see a lot of discussions going on. And also we have a bi-weekly newsletter that comes out. So everyone who's on the webinar today will be added so you can keep up with what we're doing. And yes, someone asked in the Q&A, will the slides be shared? Yes, the slides will be shared. And we'll have a blog post on it as well. So on blackchildrencount.org, when you go to our homepage, it's our homepage here, you can actually sign up for a complete count committee. We're working with the entire state, even though Atlanta is in our name. We work across Georgia, and primarily in those areas that have low child well-being indexes, because our goal is to ensure that people have access to what they need. And that's what equity is, making sure that people have what they need. So blackchildrencount.org. While you're there, you can also access our toolkit and resources, and you can use this toolkit. What we focused on for our toolkit was ensuring that there were statements to help our community understand the importance of the census, because one of the reasons that Black people don't complete the census is that they think that, they first of all feel that it's something that's going to happen to them from the government. Deportation is something people think they're going to lose their public assistance. So there's so many reasons why people don't do it, but also people don't understand the importance of it. They don't know it pays for their roads and their schools and their healthcare resources. So we want to make sure that people understand exactly what it's for. If you didn't see your parents complete it 10 years ago, you may not know the importance of completing it now if you're a young adult. So this is some people's first time ever completing the census. So download our toolkit and you can use these graphics to share when you are having your open houses, which are probably online this year, your staff meetings. Use some of these graphics and help people to understand the importance of completing the census, and give them 7 to 10 minutes during your meeting to allow them to do so and answer questions while you're there. Or you can invite us to do it. We are definitely being a part of schools and child care centers opening open houses and their opening sessions for the year to help support this effort. So please invite us to do so as well. All right, so you can also share your 2020 census status. This is really important. So if you haven't completed your census yet, we want you to say, I pledge to count. But we'd rather you go ahead and complete it, and then you can complete that middle column that says, hey, I'm already counted. Me and my family were already counted. And if you're not sure, you need to talk with someone more about the census, we have the I Need More information. You can contact us. So check this out on our support page on blackchildrencount.org, because we want to know your census status. And we are targeting those areas. We are constantly monitoring on the census page the low response areas, and we're trying to improve those response rates. Some events that we've had recently, we love our partner Fair Count. Fair Count is an organization that was founded by Stacey Abrams, and they do amazing work making sure that people know about the census and they're completing it. So as a partner, they invited us to participate in their We Count story time during the week of Juneteenth, and we were excited that Dr. Janine Abrams McLean, she and her children and her husband read the book We Count. And if you missed that, you can go onto our blog page, BCDI-Atlanta.org on our blog, and you can see the video of the read. You can download the book, and there are also resources there, games and activities that you can play with children. So check that out, the recap of that. And so what we're doing now with We Count is we are providing the actual copies of these books to those programs as incentives who are working with us, making sure that they get this information out to their parents. So we have door hangers coming up, where we'll have door hangers going out to put on people's doors and encourage them to complete the census on one side, and on the other side to vote. So we're out there in the streets doing what we need to do, and thank you to all of our partners in that. We also had a Twitter town hall recently, and you can do hashtag Black Children Count on Twitter, and you can see all the feed from our Black Children Count through the Fire town hall. So through the Fire, and our partners were Fair Count, Fathers Incorporated, Atlanta Cares, and we tweeted about different topics in terms of policy, what platforms are important to us, getting our voices out there to support Black children and families. So I highly recommend you go to hashtag Black Children Count on Twitter to check out that feed. So raise your voice as well. In early care and education, in that focus area, we have so much going on, primarily because as Black Child Development Institute Atlanta, we have a lot of child development professionals and early educators in our affiliate. So one of the things we've done, we're so excited this past year, we've had summits. We had a summit on children, and we also had a culturally responsive early education and care summit. And these summits, we allow people to come. These were free, thanks to our funders at United Way. They're a great partner, United Way of Greater Atlanta. And we had these live before COVID hit. The last one was in December at the Loudermilk Center. So at the Loudermilk Conference Center, we were able to engage people all day and offer training and support on helping our children. And as you heard Cemeré talk about the different disparities and people not knowing how to support children when there are misbehaviors, that's what our trainings are on. So those topics that early educators need to learn to work with our children, we focus on ages 0 to 8. So these are platforms to enable us to do so. So our workshops focus on helping people to understand this is what you do to support children. This is how you support their families as well. We also had a professional development institute on emotional wellness and trauma-informed care a couple of months ago. And that was important because you heard Cemeré talk about health and mental health. Well, we know that Black children and families have been experiencing trauma long before COVID ever existed, that we knew it existed. So trauma is really a thing in the Black community, and we wanted to make sure that we supported it and continue to do so. So we had a 4-hour institute and provided training credit for our early educators and volunteers so they could understand, first of all, put your own mask on was one training, securing your mask. How are you taking care of yourself? Because oftentimes we're so busy in our communities working hard and, you know, being single parents, oftentimes we're not taking care of ourselves. So that was an institute to support us helping ourselves, and then we can go help other people. And our preschool STEM and our 2-day Level Up conference that we had scheduled in March, those were canceled because, again, COVID hit right before those were happening. So this year, what we have done so that we continue to get our work out is we collaborated with Georgia Association for the Education of Young Children. So GAEYC is our state affiliate of NEYC. And they're having their virtual conference. It's a 3-day conference, October 1st through 3rd. And they are allowing us to collaborate. So each of those 3 days, there will be a BCDI-Atlanta track. So there'll be a morning session for 1.5 hours, afternoon session for 1.5 hours, all 3 days. And we're also doing an interest forum. So to learn more about the conference, go to gaeyc.net/conference. And we look forward to seeing you as a part of the conference. Also in early education, and I'll just summarize this. We're serving a lot of different committees and advisory groups. The first one, the Language and Literacy, Quality Rated Language and Literacy Endorsement Professional Development Advisory Group. This was appointed by the governor, and DECAL invited us to be a partner here, invited us to be on this committee. So supporting language and literacy. And we're serving a lot of other different coalitions. And one more that I'll mention, well, a couple more that I'll mention. When COVID hit, we formed an emergency roundtable with some fellow ECE organizations. So the leaders of organizations like GAYC, like PFC-CAG, who is over family child care or covers family child care, GEARS, Quality Care for Children. Many of us partnered and started having weekly meetings to figure out how we could support early care and education programs during COVID. I serve on the PPE committee, and I'm so excited. I can't announce it yet, but we do have some resources coming in to provide PPE for our childcare centers. So when I talk about literacy, we're sending out books soon. I'll get to that shortly. But as we send out books, we're also sending out PPE. So I'm excited about being able to provide that. And then finally, Georgia Child Care Association, GCCA. This is primarily a group of owners of childcare centers, and we serve on their public school partnership committee because there are a lot of school systems who are opening up childcare programs or 3-year-old programs aside from pre-K. And if you know a little bit about early childhood, the preschool realm and the birth to 3rd grade realm, they're like 2 different worlds. So before you get to kindergarten, the way early educators are implementing practices is that they're very different. And so we don't want 3-year-olds taught in the same way as 2nd and 3rd graders or even 1st graders are taught. We want to make sure practices are developmentally appropriate. So we serve in that space to ensure that any school system who's implementing a 3-year-old program or younger, that they know what they're doing and that we're there for support. We want those programs to look more like pre-K and not 1st and 2nd grade. Family engagement, you guys, we're so excited about our newly funded program by DECAL, and it's called Powerful Families. So Powerful Families is a 2-gen project, and I'll share more about it. And this is very recent, so I have several slides I share about that. But we also are focusing on fathers. In our community, we know why. because unfortunately we don't have as many fathers in the home as we would like. We have a lot of women who are raising children alone, and of course there are men as well who are raising children alone. But we want to provide support for fathers, whether they're raising children alone or they need to be involved in their family, showing parents mothers how to work well with their fathers of their children. And so with Fathers Incorporated and New Georgia Project VIBE, Voting Initiative for Brothers Engagement, we are working with them on civic engagement and how to appropriately engage fathers. Because oftentimes when they do come to the table, people aren't appropriately engaging them. So that's really, really important in our work. So we're excited about the work that we're doing with Fathers Incorporated. All right. And New Georgia Project. So more about Powerful Families. So again, this is a 2-gen project, and we decided to call it Powerful Families because we want our families to know, you know what, you are already powerful. We don't need to empower you because you are already powerful. And so that's how we came up with this name. And the 2-gen approach is one where we're focusing on children and parents, and we're providing educational access, financial literacy, and so I'll go a little bit deeper. Earlier this year, DeKalb, the Georgia Department of Early Care and Learning, they came out with this RFP for 2-gen innovation grants. And we decided to apply for capacity building because we know that our families need more support, as you heard Cemeré say in the data that they collected. So what in the world is a 2-gen approach? So we are focusing on the child. There's a child-focused piece, and then there's a parent-focused piece. So while the parents are learning about how their children learn, developmentally appropriate practices, what to do with your children at what age, they're also learning how to help their children at home, but also how to help themselves. So they're building their children up educationally as well as themselves. So we're helping our families, our parents, and we have several partners here that we are working with. And with pre-K Head Starts, early Head Start programs, we're working with the families and we're working with the staff. There are 5 components. Core components for 2-gen. So health and well-being, social capital, early childhood education, post-secondary and employment pathways, and economic supports. Everything that we're doing, our program is for a full year, effective July 1, going through June 30th next year, and we want to extend it beyond that. But throughout this year, you guys, we're engaging families in all 5 of these. If they want to go back to school, we're helping them go back to school. We're helping them with financial literacy if they want to buy their first house or whatever they want to do. If they want to create a budget and to save. We're helping them to develop quality friendships and initiatives in their neighborhoods, to help with health and well-being. So all of these components are part of our 2-gen project called Powerful Families, and we're just so excited about it. So we work with low-income families throughout the city of Atlanta, primarily Fulton County. We chose Fulton County due to the Child Wellbeing Index, and if you live in Atlanta, you know North Fulton and South Fulton are, they vary in terms of economics, but the Child Wellbeing Index is low, and we want to work with those red zones in ensuring that we support families. So these are opportunities for both the children and the families together to promote family economic security and also high quality learning opportunities. So in our project, we are providing training and professional development for the parents, as well as the staff who work with the parents, the family. So they're getting training and coaching on both sides. We don't like just providing a bunch of training and checking out saying, oh yeah, we did some training on, literacy on families. We want to make sure that these are being implemented and that there are supports. So our program, and we're actually implementing this type of programming throughout our focus areas, where there's training and there's coaching to back it up. So they will have small group coaching through our program where they're able to come on and talk and share and get support on what they're struggling with and moving forward into a new direction. So aside from the trainings, they get small group group coaching. Again, the families on one side and then the staff as well. And this year we're doing all of this virtually because, you know, of COVID. And we're excited at some point to return to the programs, but we feel like this is going to be great for them. Also, we have programs and toolkits that they're receiving through this project to help them to move forward. Books and materials for the families as well. And what's exciting about the programs we're working with is, you guys, they're supposed to already be doing these types of things with families. They're supposed to have family opportunities. And while they're trying to figure that out, we have powerful families to come in and support them on that. So Early Head Start, they have parent committees that meet once a month. They have policy councils, but this gives them even something more meaningful to align with what they're currently doing to support their families. So this is so exciting for us. So that was family engagement. So in terms of health and wellness, NBCDI has a Good For Me curriculum. And we love Good For Me. It teaches all of the domains. So it is a comprehensive curriculum using nutrition. So it's really cool because the nutrition it uses, these are produce, these are fruits and vegetables that Black children will often see in their homes. Sweet potatoes, yes, watermelon, tools that our families and ancestors use. You know, the cast iron skillet, and why do they use a cast iron skillet? The importance of these tools. So it's cultural and it's something that they can relate to, as research tells us. It's culturally relevant. And for instance, you see here on the picture in the center, you see Debbie Hillman, who's our health and wellness chair and our Good For Me coordinator, that this teacher's holding a pineapple. You would be surprised how many children, especially in low income areas, have never seen a whole pineapple. They've seen it diced up in the little cup or in the can, but they may have never seen a whole pineapple. That also goes back to what Cemeré was talking about in terms of produce in the area. When you go to the local, if I go to a grocery store in a Black community and I go to an area that's not a Black community, what I see in the produce area is different. And it's not the same quality, same level of quality. So they get to talk about the different fruits and vegetables, they get to taste them. And they get to talk about, for instance, words that begin with P, because pineapple. So again, they get to talk about it in the curriculum. This is a funding opportunity, as you see there, because we are seeking funding to extend this program here in Atlanta. And throughout Georgia if possible. So it's a great curriculum. And those of you guys who are on trying to figure out where you fit in terms of how you can help, we are looking to extend the Good For Me program. Also for health and wellness, we partner with Georgia Farm to ECE Coalition and as well as Georgia Organics. And they have a new publication that has come out. It's on our blog as well. So check that out. It's really cool, showing the different produce that grows in Georgia, when it grows. It's very educational. And we are excited to be one of their partners. We also serve on the Infant and Early Childhood Mental Health Committee, which is one of the committees under GEARS, Georgia Early Learning Alliance. And so we have something that's new as well. So what is new for us, aside from the nutrition piece that we are looking to extend? Trauma-informed care. We have, I mean, this is fresh out the press, giving it a name. Strength Within is what we're calling our new trauma-informed care program. I mentioned before that trauma is not new in the Black community. We've been experiencing trauma, adverse childhood experiences, ACEs. But now we are looking to frame this with training and coaching, just like we did our Powerful Families program. And again, it's called Strength Within. And I hope you just feel how powerful that sounds for families. Again, powerful families, and then now Strength Within. So again, this is the funding opportunity as well if you're looking to invest in our new trauma-informed care program, offering coaching, not helping parents, but also helping those staffers who work with parents. Because there are a lot of people who are working with our families who don't look like us, and they have big hearts, but they just don't understand. And they need our organization to show them what's appropriate, what's developed, what is socially okay for you to say. They don't necessarily know, and that's what we're here for. So we're looking to work with programs on supporting children with trauma. Please visit our COVID-19 page. It has a lot of resources there. It's a long, long, long list, and we're constantly adding to that list. If you want to find a food pantry, because you know, families, they having to feed children all day, every day now because they're home. So there's food pantry information there. Whatever you need, check out our COVID-19 page for support and send any others there as well. Literacy, and we're going to wind down for Q&A shortly. In terms of literacy, you heard Cemeré mention the NBCDI Read to Succeed program, and we're excited to be a grantee and to be able to offer that every summer for our families. This year with Read to Succeed, we decided to partner with family child care providers because we know they're often in their home, and in Georgia they can have 6 children, and then ages 0 to 5, and then 2 school agers is our understanding. And so they have about 8 children in their program. Right now, they have several shifts going on because you have parents who work at different times. So a child care provider family child care provider might have 2 or 3 shifts during the day. And so they're working sometimes 18 plus hours, and sometimes children are spending the night at their homes because their parents work at night. And so we decided we wanted to offer them as our VIPs this year. So we have literacy workshops that are state approved that we're offering to them this summer. And you can go on our website and see that information on our events page. So they're getting free training from us, and it's all online right now, that there'll be live engaging training. But we're also offering free children's books. So all of our family child care providers who are applying for our program, we're looking at those red zones again on the Child Wellbeing Index. So primarily Fulton County, DeKalb County, and Clayton County. And we are sending out books for every child, again, from Scholastic. So book from every child, books for every child, and then a backpack for the program's library. So the program will be able to maintain the books there, and the children will be able to take one home. But another really exciting part of this project this year is we partner with Georgia State University, Perimeter College, and their early care and education students are providing read-alouds online. In addition to the read-alouds online for the books that they're receiving in the mail, the providers are receiving, they're providing lesson plans. So we have a site that they'll be able to go on, and it'll go live in a couple of weeks or so. And on this website, all the providers can download the video and show it to their children, as well as the lesson plans to support them in providing activities. Because many child care providers, family child care providers, never closed throughout the pandemic. So this is support for them. So we're so excited, and we are also pleased to work with PFCC-AG, who is the Professional Family Child Care Alliance of Georgia, and I'm shortening names today, but they are helping because they work with child care providers every day, family child care providers every day. So check out our Read to Succeed program on our literacy page on our website. So lastly, child welfare. Child welfare is woven into everything because it's a part of policy, and we know our foster care system is primarily filled with children of color. So we are definitely supporting the foster care system and working with social workers, DFACs, to support foster care. In addition to that, community cafes, United Way has a new project that we're partnering on to provide community cafes, and that falls under family engagement as well. So child welfare is one where, again, it's embedded into all the focus areas, because when people are stressed, guess what happens? That stress is pushed upon the children, whether it's spankings or yelling, but children get abused. Children also get neglected in this type of economy because parents have to work and there may be no child care near them. You heard Cemeré talk about the 12% where there are child care deserts. Well, if I don't have anyone to keep my children and I need to work and put food on the table, I may choose to go to work and leave my young child at home alone. Well, that's neglect. Okay, so, you know, that's a major problem that we're having. So child welfare is really, really important. and we're excited to partner with people to make these things even more happen. So in addition to the state report card, I wanted to point to the Annie Casey Foundation's information. Kids Count data came out of just recently, probably within the last month or so. And this data shows where Georgia is, you guys. So it shows that we're doing better in child well-being, but we're still seeing it's still pretty low. Education, we're 51% worse in education for ages 3 and 4. Oh my goodness. Health, look at low birth weight babies. So we are looking to improve that area. And then single parent families is 39% worse. So our work, we have it cut out for us. We have way more to do, and we look forward to partnering with you guys in whichever way possible to move forward. So as I prepare to close and go to Q&A, I want you to know a couple of things that are on our list. Yes, we recognize and have seen in recent news that more Black children are committing suicide. And because of that, this is on our list, and we want to address that in our trauma work. Also, we realized delinquency and adjudication is a problem, and we want to address that in our policy work. So we recognize all of this is there. Follow us on social media because we're tweeting and posting every single day and want to make sure you're engaged. Another opportunity, we have a peer-reviewed journal that comes out next month. We're so excited about Nurture. And we decided to publish Nurture because we have a lot of professionals who are writing, researchers who are writing about Black children, and they don't have anywhere to publish it. They're getting turned down. But we want to provide a voice for that. So Nurture comes out next month. You can still participate by purchasing an ad for your organization. So please go to our publications page to purchase an ad for Nurture. And then these publications are by NBCDI, the state of the Black children, being Black is not a risk factor, Georgia, that we mentioned on our publication page, as well as the new book that recently came out to support children in times of crisis, African-American children in times of crisis. So those are really great publications. And then make sure you join us at our upcoming meetings. Everything we're doing right now is, again, virtual. Please, please, please become a member. Once you become a member, you're a member of the national organization, so you're a member of NBCDI, and please choose Atlanta as your affiliate if you are in the Atlanta area. Just a few of our partners I want to acknowledge today, and time for Q&A. So Cicely, do we have any questions on Facebook that we want to start with? How often do we have Zoom meetings? We have our meeting is quarterly. We have a quarterly affiliate meeting, but we have something going on all the time on a regular basis. So on our events page is where we place everything. So BCDI-Atlanta.org, BCDI-Atlanta.org/events is where you can see what we have going on. Okay, for those who asked. Cicely, do we have anything you want to share that from Facebook?
Claudia Benjamin asked about the membership fee.
Okay, the membership fee is $40. Okay, nothing on Facebook, thank you. The membership fee is $40 for the year. And if you are a student anywhere, student membership is $25. Thank you for asking. There's also an organizational membership for $250. I believe you get 7 memberships for that. Okay. Great, great, great. So if someone has a question, please post it in our chat or under Q&A. I see someone says, yes, thank you, Bridget. Looking forward to continued partnerships with GYC, PF, CCAG, GEARS, yes. And GEARS is Georgia Early Education Alliance for Ready Students. And I was talking fast and didn't say it all the way earlier. Let's see. Okay, the payment, Claudia, is the payment goes to NBCDI. If you go to our, for membership, go on to our support page. So members, BCDI-Atlanta.org. I'm typing in the chat. and then go to the support page. You'll see it drop down for membership. People are grateful on Facebook and want the presentation. Yes, the presentation will be available on our blog. And if you are, everyone who is registered via Zoom will receive our newsletter, and it will be in our newsletter as well. So thank you guys for that. And so happy you're grateful. I know we shared a lot of information today, but we wanted to make sure you guys had it because there's a lot going on, and we want you guys to be a part of it. Cemeré, would you like to add anything?
Thank you, Bisa. My final would just be that we'd love for you to keep in touch with us, and that BCDI Atlanta is here to provide support, as we said, so that you remain engaged, so that we have a complete census count in Georgia, so that we get out the vote in Georgia. These things we don't always associate with children, but our health, our education systems all rely on our vote, all rely on the census count, and we're just very proud to support all the work of BCDI Atlanta and the work that we'll continue to do moving forward, specifically related to suspensions and expulsions.
Thank you, Cemeré. Cemeré's information is on the screen. Mine is on the next slide. I'll pause in case anyone wants to take a picture of that as we prepare to share it with you guys. We would love for you again to join a committee so that you can continue to engage with us. I see we have some board members on. Tatiana, thank you for being a great board member, treasurer. She's ride or die, as I say. She's around making sure that she is supportive on a regular basis. Here's my information. So reach out to us, and we are constantly, we love to partner because our resources go farther when we are partnering. So make sure you let us know if you want to partner, and also to register for our upcoming events. Sandra Jeter Kalu is our amazing community education specialist, and she is adding the literacy workshop information as the trainers confirm their availability. So visit our events page regularly so you can see when you can participate in our literacy workshops. They're free. And also Dr. Daphne Barbro is our amazing project manager. So I want to say thank you for all her support. And she is on the ground doing an amazing job supporting us, making sure we get funding, and also making sure that we are out there supporting in all the needed areas. So great connections with Dr. Daphne Barbro, who's worked for the Department of Public Health and also Head Starts. So we have a great team, guys. I couldn't wish for a better team. All right, so here are different ways that you can engage if you want to donate. We're thankful for the anonymous donations that come through. We're thankful for any donation that comes through. We're thankful for those who raise money for us on social media, and for those who are members. So thank you to all of our members, again, to all of our board. And please tweet and post with us. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So together, let's make sure Black children count. Thank you, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you, Cemeré.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.